Welcome to another episode of the Black Birth Stories podcast. We are coming to you live during Black Maternal Health Week 2025 at the Black Maternal Health Summit here in Dallas, Texas, hosted by More Milk. And my guest today is Bitengo. She is a doula who I was honored to meet here while mixing and mingling with other birth workers here in the facility. And I'm so grateful that she agreed to be my next guest on the podcast. So, welcome. In one word, how would you describe your birth experience?
Considered. I definitely more intentional. I was intentional about selecting a birth center as well as the hospital that I was going to give birth in. Yeah, I was very considered, very
That is such an important word. Like, I love that. I didn't expect you to say that, but I love that because I think that being intentional about this, if you're going to be intentional about anything, this is what you need to really put some thought and some effort into because it makes all of the difference and could literally mean life or death. I love that. Intentional. That's fantastic. What is one thing you wished you'd known before giving birth?
I definitely wish I knew just how challenging breastfeeding was going to be. That, my perky boobs were gonna completely drop. I wish I knew that and was able to mentally prepare for that because I think that contributed a little to my postpartum, getting used to this new body.
Definitely. Breastfeeding for me was one of the hardest things I feel like I've ever done in my life.
Yes.
And I think as educated women, we probably have done some hard things, but it did not hold a candle to that breastfeeding journey. Like, not for the faint at heart at all. We're actually talking this weekend about how important breastfeeding is and how critical it is to our healthy infants. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Did you feel heard during your birth? Why or why not?
That's actually a really interesting question because I had a birth center, was, seeing midwives at Origins Birth Center because I didn't quite feel heard by my OBGYN at Medical City. And I said that my journey was considered because after I last minute found out that she wanted to schedule a C-section for me, even though that wasn't my original birth plan, when she told me that she was scheduling the C-section for the next day, my husband said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I need a second opinion because I just want to fight for the ability to give birth vaginally." And I called up my midwife and she told me to head to a hospital in Fort Worth where they would be able to support me. And I unfortunately also was told that it would have to be a C-section, but I felt more supported in that environment versus the environment I was in North.
It sounds like there was a lack of communication between you and your OB-GYN that put you in that precarious situation. Is that what you would say?
Feel like I was quite hurt because she told me we're going to have to do a C-section, and my heart dropped.
These are the worst mistakes Black women can make when choosing an OBGYN, assuming they'll automatically prioritize your safety, ignoring the signs when they dismiss your concerns, and not having a plan to advocate for yourself. Sis, I've been there, and that's why I'm so glad I found the Mocha Maternity Survival Guide, Choosing the Right OBGYN. This guide gave me everything I needed to avoid those mistakes, from conversation starters to tools for assessing their care. It's the ultimate roadmap to make sure you're seen, heard, and protected. Don't take chances with your health. Get your copy today and make the choice that could change everything.
I was just shook, and she just kept rambling on as if I wasn't trying to take that and process that information. I felt like just another person. Not a person actually, but when I went to the hospital in Fort Worth after she told me conclusively that I would have to because of my low-lying placenta, she treated me with more heart, and she was saying, "You're going to be okay. I'm so sorry that this wasn't your original plan." She just spoke to me like a human, so I felt better, and my midwife was there, and I felt more supported. So that was my experience.
Who showed up for you during your birth journey?
definitely my husband because he drove from one hospital to the next. And then my wonderful mother-in-law, who currently watches our child when we have to work. And my midwife, she showed up for me. I definitely have to give credit to my husband for acting whenever I needed him to.
So your village was critically important as a part of your journey. This was so, so good. Intentional. That is the word we're going to walk away with, is intentional. So, so important when it comes to shaping our birth experience. Thank you so much for joining me.
Want to go deeper? The conversation doesn't have to stop here. Join Melanin Maternity, our digital Black birth community, where you'll get expert guidance, real support, and a sisterhood that sees you. From live Q&As with birth experts to empowering discussions with other Black mamas, we've got you covered. Click the link in the description and step into the community you deserve.